Good day to everyone. We are Group 1, and for today's presentation, we will be discussing the topic entitled Purpose and General Provisions of SOLAS Chapter 2, Part 1. But before we begin, allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Arpon Siringbi together with Agkis Athena Lorraine, Agrabio Elran, Antonio Ashley May, Baluyot Romy, and last but not the least, Kahano Charles Gan. And let's continue to our presentation. So, we will discuss SOLAS Chapter 2, Part 1 that covers Purpose of General Provisions, Purpose of SOLAS Chapter 2, Part 1, the importance of general provisions on ship construction, subdivision, and stability, historical background, relationship of SOLAS Chapter 2, Part 1 to other SOLAS chapters, and last is the real-world examples of accidents due to poor construction or stability. So, ano nga ba yung kahalagahan ng Chapter 2, Part 1 ng SOLAS? Una daw, it ensures ships remain stable after damage. So, yung chapter na to is make sure na yung ships is nag-stay afloat and stable kahit na damage na. Then, pangalawa is covers machinery and electrical safety. Kino-cover nito yung safe design ng machinery natin and electrical system. In short, minimake sure nito na yung ship is hindi siya mag-sink easily and that yung power is ma-maintain for safety. Then yung last is it aims to reduce casualties at sea. So, in chapter na to is important kasi in SOLAS, ini-ensure na yung ships are built strong enough, safe enough, and para makasurvive sa accidents like collision, flooding, or machinery failures. Pero ano nga ba yung SOLAS Chapter 2 Part 1? So, yung SOLAS Chapter 2 Part 1 is the construction, structure, subdivision, and stability, machinery, and electrical installations. So, Chapter 2, Part 1, ina-address dito yung construction standards for ships. And may 57 regulations na nag-dictate kung paano dapat yung construction i-carry it out and para ma-ensure na yung ship does not sink and hindi lumubog yung ship. Tapos, dapat kapag binaha or mga cases na binaha yung barko natin, dapat may compartment. And it is divided sa 7 parts, which is Part A to Part G. So, yung una, Part A is general, Part B, subdivision and stability, Part C, machinery installations, Part D, electrical installations, Part E, additional requirements for periodically unattended machinery spaces, Part F, which is the alternative design and arrangements, Part G, ships using low flash points fuels. So, yung nagpo-provide ng instruction kung paano dapat yung subdivision ng vessel is to be carried out without compromising yung safe access sa different locations. And meron din tong instruction na kino-cover lahat ng different types of vessels. Historical background. So, una sa lahat, bakit nga ba nagkaroon ng SOLAS? Since nangyari yung Titanic disaster noong 1912, which is nagkaroon ng halos 1,500 people na namatay dahil sa kakulangan sa lifeboats, poor emergency communication, and yung inadequate safety procedures, yun yung nag-led para magkaroon ng SOLAS Convention 1914. Kasi before SOLAS, nung hindi pa nag-exist si SOLAS, every country is my own or may kanya-kanya safety rules. And walang global standards for ship construction, navigation, or kahit anong emergency response. So, as shipping became more international, syempre nagkaroon na ng uniform rules para ma-ensure yung na lahat ng ship, regardless of flag, is ma-met yung minimum safety standards. Since nangyari nga yung Titanic disaster ng 1912, ina-highlight nun yung weak subdivision rules and yun na rin yung naging first step toward global maritime safety. Now, let's move on to the details of subdivision and stability.
Subdivision and damage stability. Subdivision means dividing the ship hull into watertight compartment using bulkhead. This limits how much water can enter during flooding. For example, if one compartment is damaged, the rest of the ship can still remain afloat. SOLAS 2-1 requires a minimum standard of subdivision for passenger and cargo ship depending on their size and purpose. Sabi dito, ang subdivision daw ay tumutukoy sa paghahati ng hull ng barko sa mga watertight compartment gamit ang bulkhead. Sabi dito, nililimitahan nito ang pagpasok ng tubig sa panahon ng pagbaha. Halimbawa, kung ang isang compartment ay nasira, ang iba pang bahagi ng barko ay maaaring manatiling lumulutang. Ang SOLAS 2-1 ay nagtatakda ng minimum na pamantayan ng subdivision para sa mga barkong pampasahero at pangkargamento depende sa kanilang laki at layunin. Damage stability and indices. The chapter introduced a probabilistic method of damage stability. This means that instead of just fix the rules, ships are evaluated based on probabilities of different damage scenarios. Two important terms are attained subdivision index A, the actual safety level of the ship. Required subdivision index R, the minimum standard it must meet. A must always be greater than or equal to R for the ship to be approved. Sabi dito, damage stability at indices and probabilistic method of damage stability. Ibig sabihin, sa halip na nakapirming patakaran, ang mga barko ay sinusuri base sa probabilidad ng iba't ibang senaryo ng pagkasira ng dalawang mahalagang termino. Attained Subdivision Index A, ang tunay na antas ng kaligtasan ng barko. Required Subdivision Index R, ang minimum na pamantayan na dapat nitong matugunan. Ang A ay dapat laging mas mataas o katumbas ng R para maaprubahan ang barko. Case example, Costa Concordia. In 2012, the Costa Concordia capsized after hitting rocks of Italy. While the ship technically meets stability standard, poor design and human error made evacuation more difficult. This shows why subdivision and stability rules must be prepared with proper safety, culture, and training. Halimbawa daw, ang Costa Concordia noong 2012, ang Costa Concordia ay tumagilid pagkatapos bumangga sa mga bato sa Italia. Bagaman, technical na nakasunod ang barko sa mga pamantayan ng stability, ang hindi magandang disenyo at pagkakamali ng tao ay nagpahirap sa paglilikas sa mga tao doon. Pinapakita nito kung bakit dapat pagsamahin ng mga patakaran ng subdivision at stability sa tamang kultura ng kaligtasan at pagsasanay. Now, let's talk about the machinery and propulsion system.
Machinery and propulsion. Machinery installations. This chapter requires that ships have reliable propulsion systems. Engines, boilers, and fuel systems must be designed to minimize fire risks and mechanical failures. Redundancy is also encouraged, meaning backup system must be available. Sinasabi daw po dito na kailangan ng mga barko na may matibay at maaasahang engine para umandar. And dapat daw po na siguraduhin lagi na yung mga makina or boiler and fuel system ay gawa sa paraan na hindi basta-basta nasusunog o masisira. And dapat din daw po na may mga extra system backup para magamit kung sakaling magka-problema. Steering gear and emergency power. Steering gear must have backup so the ship can still be controlled even if one system fails. There must also be emergency power sources like generators or batteries to keep essential system running, lighting, communication, navigation equipments, especially during emergencies. Kailangan daw po na may extra or reservang steering wheel yung barko para kahit masira yung pangunahing steering wheel is may magagamit pa rin para makapag-navigate ng maayos sa barko. And kailangan din daw po na may emergency power resources tulad ng generator or battery para magamit pa din yung mga equipment, especially yung mga importanteng gamit lalo na kapag may emergency. Case example, blackouts. Blackouts at sea. There have been incidents where ship lost all power at sea due to poor maintenance or weak design. Imagine being on a large vessel, drifting without control. It's extremely dangerous. That's why Chapter 2.1 requires robust machinery. The robust machinery design. So, what is robust machinery design? Robust machinery design focuses on creating machines and mechanical systems that maintain consistent performance and reliability despite variations in operating conditions, manufacturing tolerances, and environmental factors. It's about designing equipment that is strong, durable, and unlikely to fail. But machinery is only one part. Electrical installations are equally important.
Electrical safety. Electrical systems on ships must be designed to avoid hazards like short circuits, sparks, or overload. Cables must be insulated and protected from water, heat, or mechanical damage. Alam natin na sobrang critical ng electrical system sa barko. Hindi lang sila basta wires, they are the lifelines of the vessel. Kaya dapat talaga silang i-design na iiwas sa hazards tulad ng short circuits, sparks, or overloads. Kapag may ganyang problema kasi, pwedeng magdulot ng sunog, power failure, o mas malala pa, loss of essential systems habang nasa gitna ng dagat. Kaya importante na lahat ng kable ay insulated at well-protected laban sa init, tubig, at mechanical damage. Imagine kung may leak tapos ma-expose ang kable sa tubig. Isang spark lang, pwede nang mag-cause ng fire o total blackout. Kaya ang prinsipyo dito, simple, kung secure ang electrical system, mas secure ang buong barko. Kaya't kasama talaga ito sa SOLAS standards para walang compromise pagdating sa kaligtasan. Emergency lighting and communications. In case of fire, blackouts, or floodings, ships must have backup lighting in corridors, lifeboat stations, and escape routes. Communication systems like radios must still function even when the main power goes out. Ngayon, paano kung may sunog, biglang blackout o flooding? Dito talaga pumapasok ang emergency lighting at communication systems. Ang mga barko ay parang floating city. Sobrang laki, maraming tao at complicated ang layout. Kapag nagka-emergency at biglang madilim lahat, panic agad ang mangyayari. Kaya critical na may backup lighting sa corridors, lifeboat stations at escape routes. Para sa crew at passengers, ang ilaw na yon ang magsisilbing guide to safety. At hindi lang ilaw ang mahalaga. Kailangan din gumagana ang radios at communication systems, kahit mawalan ng main power. Dahil kung walang communication, mahirap magbigay ng instructions, mag-coordinate ng evacuation, o makatawag ng tulong mula sa labas. Kaya ang emergency generators, batteries, at backup systems are not optional. They are survival tools. In short, emergency power means the difference between order and chaos during a disaster. This is a case example. The MS Estonia in 1994. The MS Estonia sank in the Baltic Sea, killing over 850 people. While the main cause was a structural failure of the bow door, investigators also found that electrical and emergency systems failed during flooding, which worsened the tragedy. This reinforced the importance of having protected and reliable electrical installations. Isang malungkot na halimbawa nito ay ang MS Estonia ferry disaster noong 1994 sa Baltic Sea. Mahigit 850 lives ang nawala sa isang gabi. Ang pinaka-main cause ay ang structural failure ng bow door na bumigay at nagresulta sa mabilis na pagbaha sa car deck. Pero ayon sa investigation, hindi lang yun ang naging problema. Lumabas din na nag-fail ang ilang electrical at emergency systems habang bumabaha. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Habang mabilis na pumapasok ang tubig, nawala ng ilaw at communication ng ilang bahagi ng barko. Kaya nahirapan ng crew na magbigay ng malinaw na instructions at nahirapan din ng passengers na makita kung saan sila dapat pumunta. Seconds and minutes matter during evacuation. At kung pumalya ang electrical systems, mas marami talagang casualties ang mangyayari. Dahil sa trahedyang ito, naging mas mahigpit ang SOLAS pagdating sa electrical safety requirements. In-upgrade ang standards para siguradong kahit sa matinding flooding o blackout, may system pa rin gumagana para makapagligtas ng buhay. In other words, ang Estonia disaster ang nagpapatunay na hindi sapat ang structure lang. Dapat supported din ng reliable electrical and emergency installations. Nakikita natin dito na napakahalaga ng role ng electrical safety sa survival ng pasahero at crew. Kahit gaano kaganda ang design ng barko, kung wala itong backup systems at maayos na electrical installations, maaaring maging sanhi ito ng mas malalang trahedya. Kaya ngayon, tignan naman natin kung paano ito na-enforce at paano patuloy na ina-update ng IMO at flag states ang mga rules over time.
Regulation, enforcement, and modern development. IMO and flag state, the International Maritime Organization, or other called the IMO, is responsible for the SOLAS, but the flag state, the country where the ships are registered, but the enforce rules through the inspection, survey, and certification. Continuous update. SOLAS Chapter 2-1 has been updated many times, especially after the Titanic accident. For example, after the Titanic subdivision, rules were strengthened. After the Estonia disaster, watertight integrity and evaluation standard were reviewed. After the Costa Concordia stability assessment and passenger safety drills become more safety and stricter. Modern invention today. Ships are also adopting the digital monitoring system for stability and structure safety of the ship. Some use real-time sensor to detect flooding or stress on the hull. This shows the technology complements traditional system of SOLAS regulation. To wrap things up, let's summarize the key lesson from Chapter 2-1.
Subdivision and stability rules ensure ships can survive damage. Machinery and propulsion requirements prevent accidents at sea. Electrical system must be reliable to support life-saving equipment. Real accident like Titanic, Costa Concordia, and Estonia show why these rules are essentials. Chapter 2-1 is not just about construction, it's about saving lives. Ang mga patakaran sa subdivision at stability ay ginagawa para masiguro na ang barko ay hindi agad lulubog at makakaligtas kahit magkaroon ng pinsala. Ang mga makinarya at propulsion system ay mahalaga upang maiwasan ang mga aksidente habang nasa dagat. Ang electrical system naman ay dapat laging maayos at maasahan dahil ito ang nagbibigay suporta sa mga gamit na pangligtas ng buhay. Pinapakita ng mga totoong aksidente gaya ng Titanic, Costa Concordia at Estonia kung bakit napakahalaga ng mga regulasyong ito. Kaya ang Chapter 2-1 ng SOLAS ay hindi lang tungkol sa paggawa ng barko, kundi higit sa lahat ay tungkol sa kaligtasan at pagliligtas ng buhay ng tao.
As we close this presentation, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've discussed about SOLAS Chapter 2-1. SOLAS Chapter 2-1 plays a vital role in saving lives kasi sinisigurado nito na ang ships ay designed with stability, subdivision, and resilience at their very core. Hindi lang ito basta technical terms. Ito ang foundation ng safety sa dagat. Looking back at history, the great maritime disasters from Titanic noong 1912 hanggang Costa Concordia noong 2012, it gave us painful but valuable lessons. Bawat tragedy nagpapaalala kung saan mahina ang sistema at nagtulak para iangat ang safety standards na ginagamit natin ngayon. Pero syempre hindi natatapos sa nakaraan ng safety. Looking ahead, the future of ship safety will depend not only on advanced technology tulad ng monitoring systems at smart sensors, pero also on something equally important, a strong safety culture. Ibig sabihin nito ay disiplina, awareness at responsibility mula sa ship designers hanggang sa crew on board. In short, SOLAS 2-1 is more than just a set of rules. It is a framework built from lessons of the past, applied in the present, and guiding us towards a safer future at sea. And as future maritime professionals, nasa kamay natin ang pagpapatuloy nito. Kasi bawat barko ay may dalang buhay at bawat voyage dapat maging mas ligtas kaysa sa dati. That is all. Thank you for listening.